Hi guys, this is Whitney from Elementary Writing Coach, and today I just wanted to talk with you about two big narrative writing mistakes that I see students making all the time. And I'm going to give you a fix that will actually help with both of them. And so let's dive in and let me show you. So one of the big mistakes that I see in narrative writing, whether it's personal narrative or just regular narrative writing with elementary students, is that they choose topics that are way too broad. So just a second, let me give you an example. How many of you as teachers have ever received a paragraph that sounds something like this? Let me tell you about my trip to Hawaii. First, we got on the plane. Next, we flew to Hawaii. Then we got to our hotel. We went swimming, snorkeling, and even got to see a luau. It was so fun. Finally, we came home. I will never forget my fun trip to Hawaii. Oh my goodness, so boring, so boring. So basically, if you're giving a topic like, okay, we're gonna be writing about your favorite trip or maybe a vacation you did this summer, your students think, okay, I'm gonna tell you everything I did, and they're just thinking too broad. We want to help them to narrow that focus. So mistake number one is that students are way too broad with their topic. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how to fix it in just a second. But with mistake number two, it's also giving extra details that aren't important. And they're spending too much time on these details that aren't important. These are superfluous details that are not helping move the writing along. For instance, this student was spending all this time talking about how they got on the plane and how they flew to Hawaii. Well, yes, I'm assuming you went to Hawaii and then you left Hawaii because you're talking about a trip. So we can leave that out. And then what are they doing? They're just like listing the things that they did. We went swimming, snorkeling, even got to see a luau. There's no description, no details. So here is how I like to help my students fix this problem. So we first, a lot of times, we always start with a brainstorm. And so here would be a sample brainstorm. And it says my favorite trip, and then they can brainstorm all sorts of trips and vacations that they've done. And once they have brainstormed their favorite, a bunch of trips, then they can pick the one that they would like to write the most about. And I usually encourage them, pick something that you really remember so much and you just have so much to say about it. And so they circle the one that they really liked. Well, next we move on to something that looks like the brainstorm, but it's called a focus storm. See that? And at the focus storm, now they're gonna write their topic in the middle, so my trip to Hawaii, and then all around it, they're going to talk about all sorts of things that they did, and they're going to kind of continue on to brainstorm about the things that they did. But now they're going to choose one of those things. So here were all the different things for Hawaii, and then hiking to a waterfall. Okay, so now what you can do is they go back and you can give them the brainstorm paper again, and now they're going to list all the details about hiking to the waterfall. You know, what did they see? Did they see any animals? And so what this is helping to do is to narrow the focus, to narrow the focus, to narrow the focus. So what this is also going to help with is it's going to help eliminate the talk of, oh, we flew to Hawaii and we flew home from Hawaii. We're going to encourage them to focus just on writing about what they did at the waterfall. If your kids, however, do start to try to add in like, oh, that, like we boarded a car, got in the car, and we drove to the waterfall hike. You know, another thing that you can also do is give them like a simple sentence starter to get them thinking, okay, when I arrived in blank, then this happened. So when I arrived at the waterfall, this happened. Or when I arrived at the hike, this happened. And that will help to eliminate the stuff of getting there. Because for some reason, I don't know what it is, but kids love to write about how they got to a place, which, I mean, if that's important to them, that's cool. However, if it's something boring like driving in a car, you know, if they wanted to go into a lot of detail about the car and they're like, oh, you know, maybe it was a really cool car and they want to tell about it, yeah, for sure. However, most kids just want to say, I, went I got in the car and we drove to the hiking spot and we went hiking. Okay, so those are my 2 narrative writing mistakes I'm going to talk about today. The kids choosing topics that are too broad, giving details that don't really matter, that aren't really moving the story along. So try doing this brainstorm, focus storm method, because I'm telling you, it really helps to guide and narrow that focus with the writing. So I hope these tips have helped you. If you're looking for more tips and ideas with teaching writing to your elementary students, head on over to elementarywritingcoach.com. Check it out. I have a free lesson over there all about doing response to text writing or reading response writing. I also have lots of different tips and tricks for teaching writing. So go on over and check it out. Have a great day. Bye.